Today, we're going to do something, well, very different. Usually, we run.
We do. We chase ideas.
Right. We usually speak fast, trying to give you as much information as possible. But today, we are going to walk. We are stepping into a gentle, quiet corner of the world.
That is exactly right. It is a shift in gears, a complete shift in mindset, really. Our goal today is not to rush through a stack of papers. It is to let words flow slowly. We want thoughts to settle quietly. We are slowing down to the speed of a deep, calm breath.
Exactly. And to help us do this, we are looking at excerpts from a beautiful text. It is called The Language of Calm, a guided path to daily peace. It is not just a book about English. It is a book about being human.
But it is also a very practical guide. It serves a dual purpose. And I think this is fascinating for you, our listener, who loves language. First, it teaches us to find peace in ordinary moments.
The small thing.
Yes, the small things. But second, it treats the English language itself as a peaceful companion.
A peaceful companion.
Yeah.
I love that image. Usually, when we learn a language or when we work in a second language, it feels like a task. It feels like stress.
It does.
We think about rules. We think about errors.
Precisely. We worry about grammar. We worry about vocabulary. We worry about making mistakes in front of others. This text suggests a completely different way. It suggests that English can actually be a tool for calming down.
It suggests that the rhythm of the words themselves can lower our heart rate.
It really can. So before we begin analyzing the text, we have an invitation for you. Wherever you are right now, unless you are driving, of course, try to relax.
The source material invites us to do something physical. Let us do it together. It says, take a slow, soft breath in and let it out with ease.
Let us try that, breathing in and breathing out.
The text describes a specific physical sensation. It says, feel your shoulders soften. Feel the moment hold you kindly.
Hold you kindly. That is such a unique use of English. Usually people hold us. A mother holds a child, a friend holds your hand. But here, the moment itself is holding us.
It personifies time.
Yes. It makes time friendly. It turns time from an enemy that is running out into a friend that is embracing you.
Our mission today is to explore this feeling. We want to see how peace is not a distant goal. It is not something you find only on a holiday or when everything in your life is perfect.
Because life is rarely perfect.
Exactly. Peace is present in warmth. It is present in rain. It is present in rhythm.
And we will see how using simple, clear English can help us unlock that peace. We will act as your guides today, looking at the grammar of silence and the vocabulary of rest.
Let us move into the first part of our discussion, the philosophy of everyday peace. The text begins with a very strong statement.
It does. It says that peace is not found by searching far away. I think many of us believe that peace is a place we think if I go to the beach, I will be peaceful.
Or if I finish all my work on my desk, then I will be peaceful.
Right. But the text says peace is actually residing in the immediate sensory experience, right in front of you. It lists examples: a cup, a sound, the breath.
These are things we usually ignore completely. We drink the tea, but we are thinking about the meeting we have in an hour. We hear the rain outside, but we're just looking at our phones.
We are disconnected. The source introduces a concept to fix this. It is called gentle awareness.
Gentle awareness. The text says that when we notice these small things, quote, something soft opens inside us.
That phrasing is incredibly important. Something soft opens. Think about what happens when you are stressed. What does your body do?
It tightens up.
Yes. You become closed. You are hard. You are tight. Your jaw is clenched. Noticing the small things like the steam on the cup or the blue of the sky reverses that physical reaction. It literally changes your physical state.
And this is where the language connection comes in. The text connects English practice directly to this state of mindfulness.
Yeah.
It argues that describing the world in a second language can actually help you see the world more clearly.
Yes. This is the core argument of the source. It suggests that doing this noticing in English makes the language deeper. It makes it more natural, more alive.
How so?
Well, when you have to find the word for steam or the word for blue, you have to look at the object closely. You have to pay attention to it, to name it.
You are forced to be present with the object. It changes English from a subject you study in a textbook to a life you are actively living.
Beautifully said. But the author also acknowledges something important about you, the listener. It acknowledges your current state.
Yes, it acknowledges tension. It says, many of us feel tension in the body or racing thoughts in the mind. That is normal.
I really appreciate that line. It does not say, you must be calm immediately. That just creates more stress. It says, it is normal to be stressed. It validates your feeling before asking you to change it.
And here is the core truth of the text. Peace does not require perfect conditions. It only asks for gentle attention. Right here, right now.
So how do we actually do this? The source gives us specific, actionable ways. It calls them invitations. Let us look at part 2. The 5 invitations to calm.
The first invitation is perhaps the most fundamental one we have. It is the breath.
The text calls the breath a faithful friend.
That is a lovely personification, a friend who is always present. We usually treat our breath like a servant, something automatic that just works for us, but the text asks us to treat it like a friend.
We often forget our breath. We hold it when we are anxious. The practice suggested here is for those hurried moments, when you are rushing to work, when you are feeling anxious.
The instruction is to simply pause, not to force the breath to be deep, just to observe it. And there's a specific internal script provided. These are words you can say to yourself in English, in your mind.
Let us read them very slowly, together.
I am breathing in slowly. I'm breathing out gently. My breath is calm and steady.
Notice the grammar there. It uses the present continuous tense. I am breathing. It emphasizes that the action is happening right now, in this exact second.
Yes, it brings the mind immediately back to the present moment. If the script said, I breathe, that is just a general fact. Dogs breathe. Birds breathe. I breathe.
Exactly. But I am breathing is an event. It is your current reality, and the vocabulary chosen is so simple. Slowly, gently, steady.
These are soft words. They have a calming effect just by thinking them.
The phonetics help too. Think about the sound of the word slowly. It has that long O sound. Slow.
Gently has a very soft entrance with that G sound. Gently. These words do not have hard, sharp edges.
That is a great observation. The actual sound of the word in your mouth matches the feeling of the action in your body.
The second invitation moves us to something we do every single day. Eating and drinking. This is invitation 2. Taste and presence.
We all eat every day. But how often do we truly taste what we are eating? The instruction here is to slow down, to notice the colors on the plate, to notice the warmth of the food, to notice the specific flavors.
The script for this moment is very sensory. Listen to this. This tea is warm in my hands. The flavor spreads slowly on my tongue. I feel grateful for this simple moment.
The flavor spreads slowly. Let us look at that verb, spreads. It suggests movement across the surface.
It suggests we are allowing the sensation to happen to us. We are not rushing to swallow the tea. We are letting it coat our tongue.
It implies a lack of control, but in a very good way. You are just the quiet observer of the flavor.
And the final sentence of that script, I feel grateful. The expert in the text synthesizes this wonderfully. It says, eating becomes meditation. Speaking becomes gratitude.
When you name the action in English, when you silently say the tea is warm, you are validating your own experience. You are making it real. You are telling your brain this tiny moment actually matters.
Let us move to invitation 3. This one is about our ears, non-judgmental listening.
The auditory environment. Our modern world is full of noise, cars, phones, machines. Often we immediately label noise as bad or distracting. This practice asks us to close our eyes and just hear, without judging the sound.
Here's the script the text suggests for this. The wind moves softly through the leaves. A bird sings in the distance. My own heartbeat is quiet and regular.
Look at the linguistic benefit of this exercise. You are naming sounds. Wind, leaves, bird, heartbeat. Naming things in English sharpens your listening skills. It enriches your vocabulary in a very practical way.
But it also detaches you from the stress of the noise. It becomes a scene, a soundscape. Instead of noise, it becomes life. By naming the sound, we tame the sound.
Precisely. And notice the adjectives again. Softly, quiet, regular. The text deliberately chooses words that mentally lower the volume of the outside world.
Invitation 4 brings us back from the outside world into the physical body, touch and connection.
This focuses entirely on the sense of touch. The text suggests focusing your mind on very simple objects around you. The texture of your clothes, the smoothness of a wooden table, the coolness of water on your hands.
We physically touch things all day long, but we rarely feel them. The internal script here is grounding. This fabric is soft against my skin. The water refreshes me. I am here fully.
I am here fully. That is a remarkably powerful statement to make to yourself. Touch instantly connects us to the body.
When you feel the solid table under your hand, you cannot be worried about the future. You cannot be regretting the past.
No, you cannot. You are physically touching the present moment, and the body connects us to peace.
Yes. The mind races forward and backward. The body stays here. The body is always in the present tense.
Finally, we reach invitation 5. This is designed for the very end of the day, evening reflection.
This is a method for lying quietly before sleep. Often we lie in bed and we worry. We stare at the ceiling. We think about what we did wrong that day. We think about the massive list of things we have to do tomorrow.
This practice changes that habit completely. The script is gentle. Today I noticed beauty in small things. I breathed with calm. I felt moments of peace.
Notice that there's absolutely no judgment in that script. It does not say, I was highly productive today. It does not say, I finished my to-do list. It focuses solely on noticing beauty.
The text emphasizes holding the day softly. It compares the day to a precious memory. You are holding it safely, not critiquing it or tearing it apart.
It is a gentle way to close the eyes. It frames the entire day as a success simply because you are alive to notice the small things.
Now, we are going to go much deeper. The source material contains a beautiful section called Deep Dive Shadowing.
It describes a full day, from the moment of morning to the darkness of night, living entirely in this state of calm language.
We are going to walk through this day together with you. We will describe the scenes, the feelings, and the specific English words that create this atmosphere of peace. Let us start with part 3, a morning of stillness.
It begins with the act of waking up. The text says, a peaceful day begins in stillness.
Think about how you usually wake up. Is it a loud alarm clock? A sudden jump out of bed? The text invites a much different approach. I wake up slowly, without hurry.
Without hurry. That's a beautiful phrase to start any day. Let us look at the grammar of that phrase. Without hurry. It is a prepositional phrase acting as an adverb. It modifies the entire morning.
Yes, it does. It tells us not just what we are doing, but exactly how we are doing it. The visual described next is the morning light entering gently. The light does not blast into the room, it enters gently.
And the physical sensation that follows. I stay in bed for a moment and breathe. It is about intentionally not jumping into action immediately. It is about establishing a firm foundation of calm before the day starts.
The text uses the breathing script again right here. I breathe in calm, I breathe out tension.
Let us expand on that sentence. When you say I breathe out tension, you are using a transitive verb. You are acting upon the tension itself. You are engaging with it, and you are physically removing it from your body.
It gives you agency. It gives you power over your own stress. My body feels heavy and relaxed on the bed.
The word heavy here is so positive. Usually we think of heavy as a burden, a heavy box, a heavy heart. But here, it means grounded.
It means supported by gravity. It means you do not have to hold yourself up yet. The bed is doing the work for you.
Then, movement begins. But it's slow, deliberate movement. I sit up and stretch my arms softly. I feel the cool air on my skin.
Softly. Cool. These adjectives completely set the tone. It is not a violent, sharp stretch. It is a gentle waking up of the sleeping muscles. And notice the focus on temperature, cool air.
It brings mind directly to the surface of the skin. The narrator then goes to the window. We talked about the window view earlier. Here, the text describes the visual. The sky is soft blue and endless.
Endless. That word suggests infinite possibility. It suggests vast space. When we feel stressed, we feel trapped, do you mean not? We feel squeezed into a small box.
We do.
Looking at an endless sky reminds the brain of space. It reminds the brain that the physical world is very big and our daily problems are actually quite small.
Trees stand quietly in the gentle breeze. I notice how still everything feels.
Nature is often our very best teacher for calm. The trees are never rushing, they are just standing. The verb stand implies deep stability. They are rooted in the earth.
Next, we move to the morning drink. The text is very specific here about the choice of drink. I prepare warm water with lemon.
It is a simple elemental drink. Water, lemon, heat. But the preparation is the key to the piece. The scent is fresh and clean.
Imagine that scent for a moment. Lemon. Citrus. It wakes up the senses without overwhelming them. I hold the glass and feel its coolness.
Now wait, the text says warm water, but then mentions the coolness of the glass. Perhaps the glass was cool in the cupboard before the water was poured in, or perhaps it refers to the contrast of temperatures.
Ah, I see here in the author's notes it clarifies this moment. The warmth spreads to my hands. So yes, feeling the gentle temperature transfer from the water through the glass to the skin, I drink slowly, sip by sip.
Sip by sip. This is the exact opposite of gulping down a drink as you run out the door. It implies patience. It creates a physical rhythm in the body. Sip, pause, sip, pause.
Each sip brings quiet refreshment. And the mindful observation continues. I sit by the window with my tea. Steam rises slowly from the cup. I watch the steam dance in the light.
Dance. By giving the steam a human action, it makes the moment beautiful. It turns a simple cup of hot water into a visual performance. It turns the mundane, boring morning into art.
I feel grateful for this quiet beginning. That feeling of gratitude sets the emotional tone for this rest of the day.
It truly does. If you start with gratitude, it is much easier to maintain it when things get difficult. It primes the brain to look for good things rather than scanning for threats.
Let us move into part 4. The day continues. This is the midday and afternoon flow.
The text transitions from sitting to movement. The day unfolds without rush. I move through tasks with soft attention.
Soft attention. That is a very key phrase in this book. You can do your work. You can do your daily chores. But you do them with soft attention, not with hard focus or stressful urgency.
It suggests a mental focus that is wide, not narrow, a focus that is gentle, not piercing.
The text describes walking meditation next. When I walk, I feel each step. My feet touch the ground gently.
Consciously connecting with the ground beneath you. The path is familiar and kind.
Describing a walking path as kind, that creates a profound sense of safety. The outside world is not an enemy to fight. The path is a friend. It changes your entire relationship with your environment.
And there is wildlife to observe. Birds move from branch to branch. Their wings make a soft sound.
Again, we are listening. Soft sound, not loud noise. We are tuning our ears to the subtle, quiet frequencies of the world.
I smile at the small joys around me.
That physical act of smiling, even if you are completely alone, it signals to your nervous system that you are safe, that you are happy. It's a biological feedback loop. You smile, so your brain releases calming chemicals.
Then comes the afternoon rest.
In the afternoon, I rest for a while. This is important, even just a short rest. I lie down and close my eyes.
The slow breathing returns here. I listen to my own breathing, in and out, slowly, deeply.
And here comes a very helpful metaphor for the busy mind. The text says, thoughts come and go like clouds.
Like clouds. I really love that image. Clouds drift across the sky. They constantly change shape. But we do not try to catch the clouds with our hands. We do not try to stop the clouds from moving.
Exactly. I let them pass without holding. My mind becomes clear and open.
If you try to stop an anxious thought, it stays in your mind, it grows bigger. If you treat it like a passing cloud, it simply floats away.
That is the very essence of mindfulness.
It is about quiet observation, not active engagement.
Let us move to the evening, part 5. Deep dive shadowing, evening rituals.
The day is winding down now. We are preparing food. Later, I prepare a simple meal.
The visuals here are very vivid. The knife cuts through fresh vegetables. The colors are bright and alive.
Bright and alive. Even the vegetables have life. Colors like red tomatoes, green peppers, orange carrots. Noticing these bright colors grounds you in visual reality.
I cook with slow, loving movements.
Loving movements. Cooking is so often seen as a chore. I have to make dinner now. But if you do it with love, love for the fresh ingredients, love for yourself, it completely changes the energy of the task.
The aroma fills the kitchen softly.
The sense of smell. Aroma. A beautiful, elegant word for smell. It sounds pleasant just to say it. Aroma.
And then the eating of the meal.
Mm-hmm.
I eat in silence, tasting every bite. Each flavor tells its own story.
Each flavor tells its own story. Maybe it is the story of the earth where the vegetable grew. Maybe it is the story of the warm spices. It invites a gentle curiosity about your food.
After the meal, there is cleaning. Mindful cleaning.
Usually washing dishes is the most boring, tedious part of the day, but the expert in the text elevates it to a meditation.
Warm water flows over my hands, bubbles rise and disappear gently.
Focusing entirely on the tactile sensation, the comforting warmth of the water, and the visual of the soap bubbles disappear gently. Everything is impermanent, even the bubbles.
I dry my hands with a soft towel.
It is a simple, mindful conclusion to the daily task.
Then, nature outside the window shifts again. Sunset and twilight.
Evening arrives like a warm blanket.
A warm blanket. That implies deep comfort, protection from the cold. It implies that the coming darkness is not scary. It is cozy and safe.
The sky changes to soft orange and pink. I sit outside or by the window. I watch the light fade slowly.
Watching the light fade, it is a natural transition. The active day is leaving. The quiet night is coming.
Stars begin to appear one by one. The world becomes quiet and still.
That transition to visual stillness outside is perfectly mirrored in the mind inside.
Yes. As the world goes quiet, we go quiet. We synchronize our bodies with the turning of the planet.
This brings us to the final part of the day, part 6, the end of the day.
Reflection and gratitude. The text guides us to look back at the hours that have passed. I reflect on the day with kindness.
With kindness. That is the key to this whole practice, not with harsh criticism.
I noticed peace in many moments. I felt my breath, my body, my heart.
It is a summary of the physical and mental connection we build all day long. Gratitude fills me like gentle light.
Like gentle light, a very beautiful simile. Gratitude is not a heavy feeling. It is light. It illuminates the inside of the mind.
Then the sleep routine begins. I prepare for sleep with calm. I brush my teeth slowly.
Even brushing your teeth, doing it slowly. Every single action is an opportunity to practice peace.
I change into soft clothes. I lie down and let my body sink.
Sink, letting gravity fully take over, surrendering your weight entirely to the bed beneath you.
My breathing slows even more.
We are returning back to the ultimate state of rest.
And there is a final affirmation, a specific English whisper for the nighttime.
I whisper to myself in English, today was peaceful, tomorrow will be too.
Tomorrow will be too.
Yeah.
That is a powerful statement of trust, trusting that peace will return with the sun.
My eyes close softly. Peace holds me through the night.
And that beautiful thought brings us to the end of the text.
It is a complete full circle journey, from the very first breath of the morning to the final closing of the eyes at night.
So what does this all mean for us? For you, the listener, right now?
It means that language learning is not just about passing a grammar test. It is about how we talk to ourselves in our own minds.
If we talk to ourselves with harsh, fast words, we feel harsh and stressed. If we use the language of calm, we feel calm.
These practices, the slow breathing, the careful tasting, the quiet listening, they are, as the text says, invitations.
You do not have to do all of them perfectly. Maybe you just try one. Maybe just the morning tea practice. Or just the evening reflection before sleep.
The goal is simply to let English become the gentle, comforting voice inside your mind. A voice that comforts you, rather than critiques you.
We hope this deep dive has been a moment of real peace for you, a quiet pause in the middle of your busy week.
We encourage you to try these simple scripts today. Say them to yourself slowly. See how they feel in your body.
Thank you for walking this slow path with us today.
Rest deeply.
Good night, my dear friend.
But wait.
Yes.
We cannot stop just yet. We promised our listener a deep dive. And while that was a beautiful summary of the day, a true deep dive requires us to live in these moments a little longer. To truly understand the mechanics of this linguistic piece.
You are right. We have walked through the outline of the day, but we have not yet fully inhabited the language. We need to go back. We need to look at specific sections with a microscope. We need to understand exactly why these English words work so well.
Let us return to the morning, to part 3. The text says, I wake up slowly, without hurry. Let us spend some time right here. Imagine you are in bed right now.
Linguistic pacing is critical in this sense. When we say, I wake up, it's usually an instantaneous event. Snap, you are awake. But when we add the word slowly, we are modifying the verb. We are stretching the action out over time.
Think about the word hurry. Just say it. Hurry. It is a frantic, anxious word. It sounds fast. But the phrase without hurry, that negation creates open space.
And the text goes on, I stay in bed for a moment. Let us analyze the prepositional phrase for a moment. It quantifies time, but not in strict minutes or seconds. It quantifies it in a personal experience. A moment is subjective. It is exactly as long as you need it to be.
That is a crucial distinction for the nervous system. If the text said, I stay in bed for exactly 5 minutes, that becomes a strict rule. That is a constraint. But for a moment is permission to just be.
Exactly. Gives the listener agency. And then the sensory detail. I feel the cool air on my skin. Let's look at the adjective cool.
Cool is crisp. It is refreshing to the body. It contrasts beautifully with the warm heat of the bed. This gentle contrast is what wakes us up. But it is a gentle wake up. It is not cold. It is not freezing. It is just cool.
The choice of adjective determines the emotional reaction of the body. Cold might make you shiver and tense up. Cool makes you feel fresh and relaxed. This is the real power of English vocabulary. You are choosing the temperature of your own reality.
And then the physical action. I sit up and stretch my arms softly. Why did the author choose softly? Why not strongly or powerfully?
Strongly implies heavy effort. It implies muscle tension. Softly implies ease. It implies kindness to your own joints. It tells the nervous system, we are perfectly safe. We do not need to fight today.
The text mentions the window view again next. The sky is soft blue. I want to talk about color words in English for a moment.
Let's do that. Blue is often associated with sadness in English idioms. I feel blue. or the Monday blues. But here, paired with the word soft, it becomes incredibly calming. Soft blue. It evokes the morning sky just before the sun is too bright. It is the color of quiet potential.
And trees stand quietly. We see personification again. Do trees really make noise, sometimes in the wind? But by saying they stand quietly, we are projecting our own desired state of mind onto them. We are using the trees as mirrors for our soul.
We see the trees being quiet, so we, in turn, become quiet. The language acts as a sturdy bridge between the outer world and the inner emotional world.
Let us go back to the morning drink. Warm water with lemon. Why is this specific drink mentioned instead of coffee?
It is elemental, just water, lemon, heat. It is not coffee with extra sugar and cream. It is not complex. It is pure. The language reflects this exact purity. Clear, fresh, clean.
The word clean is very interesting here. It usually refers to hygiene, washing your hands. But here, applied to a scent, it means mentally uncluttered. It means simple.
And sip by sip. We touched on this earlier, but let's go deeper into the grammar. This is repetitive structure. Noun, preposition, noun. Sip by sip, step by step, day by day.
This structure forces a rhythm on the speaker. You cannot say sip by sip quickly and have it sound natural. Try it. Sip by sip. It naturally forces a pause. The grammar itself creates the meditation.
That is the quiet genius of the text. The sentence structure dictates your breathing pattern.
Now let us re-examine part 4, the midday flow. I move through tasks with soft attention.
Soft attention. This is a fascinating paradox. Usually attention is hard. Pay attention, teachers say in school.
It is a command. It is sharp and demanding. But soft attention suggests a completely different way of seeing the world. It is like peripheral vision. You are aware of everything around you, but you are not intensely fixated on one single thing.
It is the difference between a harsh spotlight and a gentle lantern. A spotlight is hard attention. It blinds you to everything else. A lantern is soft attention. It illuminates the whole path gently.
And the walking meditation. My feet touch the ground gently. The verb touch, it is intimate. It is not step. It is not stomp or march. It is touch.
To touch something implies a relationship with it. You touch a friend's shoulder. You touch a delicate flower. By saying your feet touch the ground, you are making friends with the earth beneath you.
The path is familiar and kind. Let us look closely at the adjective familiar.
Familiar comes from the word family. It means close to you. It means deeply known. When something is familiar, the brain instantly relaxes. We do not need to scan the horizon for danger. We know this path.
And kind. We discussed this, but think about it deeply for a second. If the physical path is kind, it means the journey supports your weight. It means you are not fighting the road. The road is actively carrying you.
Birds move from branch to branch. Repetition again. Branch to branch. It creates a gentle, swaying motion in the sentence itself. It mimics the physical movement of the bird hopping in the tree.
Their wings make a soft sound. Notice how very often the word soft appears in this text. Soft breath, soft blue, soft attention, soft sound.
Repetition is a key rhetorical device in the language of calm. By repeating the word soft, the text almost hypnotizes the reader. It creates an undeniable theme. It dyes the entire fabric of the day in softness.
I smile at the small joys. The verb, smile. It is a very small physical action. It does not require any words, but it changes facial tension instantly.
When you smile, you naturally release tension in the jaw. And the jaw is where we humans hold a massive amount of daily stress. So the simple English instruction smile is actually a physical therapy instruction for the face.
Now, let us look at the afternoon rest once more. Thoughts come and go like clouds. This simile is classic mindfulness teaching.
Like clouds. Clouds are temporary. They're just water vapor. They're not solid rock. By comparing our heavy thoughts to light clouds, we realize thoughts are not permanent facts. They are just weather in the mind.
And weather always changes. If it is raining, we do not try to reach up and stop the rain. We just wait for it to pass.
I'll let them pass without holding. The verb holding is the key here. Stress is simply holding. Holding on to past anger. Holding on to future worry. True peace is the act of letting go.
My mind becomes clear and open. Two adjectives working together. Clear means transparent. You can see right through it. Open means receptive. You are not blocked off from the world.
It is the exact state of a newly cleaned window. You are perfectly ready to receive the light.
Let us deepen our look at the evening rituals, part 5. I cook with slow, loving movements.
We talked about the word loving, but let us talk about movements. It turns the act of cooking into a slow dance in the kitchen. You are not chopping aggressively. You are moving with purpose.
The knife cuts through fresh vegetables. Just listen to the sound of that sentence. Cuts. Fresh. Vegetables. It is crisp. It literally sounds like the action of slicing a carrot.
It is onomatopoeia. The words sound like the physical thing they describe. Crisp, crunch, fresh.
It wakes up the ears as you say it.
And the aroma fills the kitchen. The verb fills. It implies deep abundance. The kitchen is not empty and lonely. It is full of scent. It is full of warmth and life.
I eat in silence. Silence is functioning as a noun here. It is a presence at the table. You are not eating alone, you are eating in the company of silence. Silence is your dinner companion.
Each flavor tells its own story. This lovely personification invites narrative into the meal. It turns a simple plate of food into a library of experiences. You are reading the flavors as you chew. It makes the eater an active, engaged participant. You are not just blindly consuming calories, you are listening to what the food has to say.
And the dishwashing. Bubbles rise and disappear gently.
The word disappear is usually a sad word. A friend disappears, the money disappears. But here, it is gentle. It teaches us a soft lesson about impermanence. Things come, things go, and it is perfectly okay.
Warm water flows over my hands. The word flow, water flows, rivers flow, time flows, peace flows.
It suggests a complete lack of resistance. You cannot stop the flow of a river with your hands. You can only stand in it and feel it.
Finally, let us look closer at the deep night. Evening arrives like a warm blanket.
The simile of the blanket is so comforting. A blanket covers us. It hides us from the cold. It keeps our body heat close. The dark night is a covering for the tired world.
The sky changes to soft orange and pink. Color words again. These are warm, rich colors. They are the colors of the human body. They are not the cold, bright blue of noon. They are the warm, sleepy pink of evening.
I watched the light fade slowly. The verb fade. It is a gradual, smooth disappearance. It is not a harsh light switch being turned off abruptly. It is a gentle dimmer switch turning down the sun.
Stars begin to appear one by one. Again, notice the pacing. One. By. One. Not all at once in a flash. The language forces us to count them, to notice each individual point of light in the black sky.
The world becomes quiet and still. Two adjectives that mean almost the exact same thing, but used together, they reinforce each other perfectly. Quiet, which is auditory. Still, which is visual and kinetic.
And the final reflection in bed. I reflect on the day with kindness.
Kindness is a noun that we usually give away to other people. Here, we give it to our own day. We give it to ourselves. It's a quiet, radical act of self-love before sleep.
I noticed peace. Past tense. We are validating the history of the day. We are officially writing the history of our day as a peaceful one.
Gratitude fills me like gentle light. We end with light. Even in the pitch dark of night, we have the warm light of gratitude glowing inside our chest.
I prepare for sleep with calm. Prepare. It is a sacred ritual. It is not an accident. You are intentionally getting ready for a long journey into dreams.
I change into soft clothes. The tactile cue again. Changing your clothes physically changes your mindset. You are taking off the heavy, stressful uniform of the working world and putting on the soft uniform of peace.
I let my body sink. We discussed gravity earlier, but think about the deep trust involved in sinking. You have to trust that the bed will catch you and hold you.
You have to surrender your control. Deep sleep is the ultimate surrender.
My breathing slows even more. The physiological loop of the text is completely closed now. We started the morning with breath. We end the night with breath.
The circle is complete. The entire day is safely held within these two breaths.
And the final whisper in the dark. Today was peaceful. Tomorrow will be too.
The future tense, will be. It is a prediction, yes, but it is also a creation. By actively saying tomorrow will be peaceful, we are setting the mental intention. We are priming the brain to wake up and look for peace tomorrow morning.
Peace holds me through the night. The personification returns one last time. Peace is the silent guardian standing by the bed. You are never alone in the dark. Peace is holding you securely.
It is a profoundly comforting maternal image. It allows the inner worried child in all of us to finally rest.
We have spent all this time dissecting the language piece by piece, but the true magic is in the feeling it creates in your body.
Yes, it is. We can analyze the grammar of the words softly and the syntax of the words slowly all day long, but the final effect is physical. It is biological.
When you speak these specific words out loud, your mouth moves differently. Your breath naturally changes rhythm.
Try saying the words hurry and stress right now. Just notice how your jaw feels tight. Notice how your breath becomes short and shallow in your chest.
Now say the words softly and flow. Notice how your mouth naturally opens. Your breath elongates and moves down into your stomach.
The English language itself is the medicine. The quiet words are the cure.
This is exactly why the language of calm is so powerful. It is not just about the intellectual meaning of the text. It is about the physical sound. It is about the vibration in your throat.
It is about resonance, resonating deeply with the frequency of peace.
We truly hope that by going deeper into these sentences with us, you have felt that resonance in your own body today.
We hope you have seen that English is not just a stressful tool for business emails or travel directions. It is a beautiful musical instrument, and you can play a soothing lullaby with it anytime you want.
You can compose an entire day of peace simply one sentence at a time,
One single word at a time.
one quiet breath at a time.
Precisely.
So as we truly close this session now, take one more moment for yourself.
Look at your own hand. Look around the room you're in right now. Name one simple thing you see.
Give that object a gentle English adjective. Say to yourself, the soft chair, or the quiet wall, or the warm light.
Do you feel that tiny shift in your mind? That is the power you always have.
You are the author of your own piece.
Keep writing your calm story, even in a second language. Let the words be your sanctuary.
Thank you for listening so closely. Thank you for breathing with us today.
And thank you for being here fully.
Rest well.
Be well.
Good night.
And remember, the peace you felt today, the gentle quiet we explored in these words, it does not disappear when this audio ends. It is yours to keep. You might wonder, if you practice this language of calm in a second language, does your native language begin to change too? Does English simply become the designated, quiet, safe space in your own mind? It is a beautiful thought to carry with you into the silence. Good night.